Hi there and welcome to our video on some exam questions related to energy changes. Our first exam question states, when aluminium burns, the reaction is exothermic. What is the meaning of exothermic? Well, exothermic is energy or heat being released to the surroundings. Okay, remember it's exiting. Okay, and that will get us 1 mark. The hot wire provides energy to start the aluminium burning. What is the name given to the heat energy needed to start a chemical reaction? That is known as the activation energy. Again for 1 mark. Next question. The energy level diagram for this reaction is shown below. The energy changes A, B, and C are shown on the diagram. Use the diagram to help you answer these questions. Which energy change A, B, or C is the activation energy? Now over here, B is the activation energy. It's the minimum energy required to start the chemical reaction. Which energy change A, B, or C shows that the reaction is exothermic? Now, exothermic means that the reactants have more energy than the products. So it's going to be the energy change which shows that the reaction is exothermic, and so it's going to be A. C shows the bonds forming and the bonds breaking. Okay, that will get you 1 mark. Next question. Hydrogen peroxide decomposes quickly when a small amount of magnesium oxide is added. Draw a ring around the correct answer to complete each sentence. Hydrogen peroxide decomposes quickly because manganese oxide is what? Well, manganese oxide is a catalyst. The manganese oxide has lowered the what? It's lowered the activation energy for 2 marks. A student did an experiment to find the amount of energy produced when hydrogen peroxide solution is decomposed using magnesium oxide. The apparatus the student used is shown in the diagram. The student first measured the temperature of the hydrogen peroxide, then the student added the manganese oxide, stirred the mixture, and recorded the highest temperature. Suggest why the student stirred the mixture before recording the highest temperature, and the reason for that is just so that all the manganese oxide is completely mixed with the hydrogen peroxide. So the manganese oxide has completely mixed with the hydrogen peroxide. Okay, and that will get you 1 mark. Next question. The biggest error in this experiment is heat lost. Suggest how the student could change the apparatus so that less heat is lost, and they could do this by using a lid which prevents the heat lost from the beaker. 1 mark. Hydrogen peroxide decomposes to give water and oxygen. The reaction is exothermic. Explain in terms of bond breaking and bond making why the decomposition of hydrogen peroxide is exothermic. Now, bond forming, bond breaking, well, more energy is released forming bonds than breaking them. Okay, and that will get you 1 mark. Okay, next question. The energy level diagram for this reaction is shown below. The energy changes A, B, and C are shown on the diagram. Use the diagram to help you answer these questions. How do you know that this reaction is exothermic? And it's only worth 1 mark, so you could have said that the reactants have more energy than the products. Okay, and that will get you 1 mark. Next question. The decomposition of hydrogen peroxide is slow. What does this suggest about energy change B? So if you go to energy change B, that tells us the activation energy, and that also tells us that energy change B is high. As you can see, it's the activation energy and it's really high, so that's the amount of energy required to start the chemical reaction. So what you need to say about this is that energy change B is high. Okay, and that will get us 1 mark. Hydrogen peroxide decomposes quickly when a small amount of manganese oxide is added. Explain why. The reason for that is because manganese oxide is a catalyst, and because it's a catalyst, it lowers the activation energy. So it lowers the activation energy and speeds up the reaction. Okay, and that'll get you 2 marks. Okay, final question, 2 marks. A student did an experiment to find the amount of energy produced when hydrogen peroxide solution is decomposed using manganese oxide. The apparatus the student used is shown in the diagram below. The student first measured the temperature of the hydrogen peroxide, then the student added the manganese oxide and recorded the highest temperature. The temperature rise was smaller than expected. Suggest why. So the temperature rise was shorter because the heat was being released into the surroundings, and that's because there's no form of insulation in it. So to prevent this, well, they could have used a lid to prevent heat loss. So they could have used a lid which would prevent the heat loss being escaped. Okay, and that's what you needed to say. Looking at this, heat is being lost, so using a lid to prevent heat loss. Okay, and that is it for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked it, and one last thing, please subscribe, hit the like button and the notification bell.